All right, guys. What is going on? What is Gucci Gang? Welcome to the live stream. One second. Let me make sure I got my volume correct. Okay, we should be good. What's good, everyone? Welcome back. We had a 3-day weekend, basically. No stream yesterday. You know, you know what's interesting is chances are I would have made it back on time, right? I probably would have made it back to stream at 12. But as fate would have it, I didn't really plan on telling you this, but as fate would have it, I got my first speeding ticket yesterday. On the way home, dog. On the way home, your boy got yoinked. Or a citation, rather, is the technical term. So that's always nice, right? How was your weekend, chat? Who else is here? We have like 4 people here. What's everybody else doing out here? Christmas shopping? Where is everybody? Where's everybody at, dog? All right, it's gonna be an early stream today. it's gonna be a very quick stream today if we don't have anybody. I went to Twitter today to send out a tweet, and this was timed exactly this way for a reason. And I want to sort of explain to you a little bit more about how we can anticipate lows or highs being left open. You got the richest man in Babylon? Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's some very good financial principles in there. Nothing about speeding tickets in there, though. I can tell you that. So, but it's cool. One of my favorite parts about that book, and I forget their names because they're not like average names, but it's the main character who's talking to the richest man in Babylon, and the guy's talking back to him, and he's like, "Fool, you pay everybody else but yourself. You pay the debt collectors, you pay the interest, you pay for this and pay for that." He's like, "You pay everybody except yourself. Foolishness." So I was like, wow, that is I mean, it's not new to me, but it's just the fact that these ideas have been around for a very, very, very long time, yet a lot of people still do not realize the error of their ways. So, you know, Fernando, I really wasn't going to get into this, but I will tell you, there's a specific reason I never go on this one side of town. Okay? Like I never go over there. It is kind of a poor side of town too, and I really don't want to be mean about it. I really don't want to be mean about it. But one of the problems with like the poor neighborhoods, honestly, is there's more police. That's the issue. I'm not saying it's their fault. I mean, you know, allegedly was doing 50 and a 30. Allegedly, right? Okay. Might have been my fault, you know, if that is the case. But it's like that's where police hang out, bro. By the poor people. I had to go like this way because I had to go to a specific place. I was actually on my way home. And I don't know, it was kind of crazy, but all in all, I got. He was camping too. He was like, there's two lanes going one way, two lanes going the other way, and he's like either parked in the median or in one of the lanes. And I was on the opposite side. So yeah, they ended up pulling me over. So I was like, fuck. Didn't realize I was in a neighborhood, I guess. But that's on me, chat. That is on me. But, and let me tell you this too before we get into it. That was another reason why I said what I said yesterday about like these people are just cogs in the machine. Okay? Like, think about it. You sit in a squad car all day, every day, just handing out tickets to people and probably, you know, doing other bullshit. It's like, that's your job. That's your career. That fucking blows. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, that's not really living, you know? And again, I really don't want to be an asshole about it. I don't want to be a dickhead about it. But it's like, that's what you do. You know? It's the end of the year. It's quota season. They want to hand out tickets and shit. I get it. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful fucking car. I get it. There's probably some jealousy there. It is what it is, man. I don't make the rules. I heard this from Mike Miles one time. The price of everything you want is everything you have. So just know, as you level up, bro, as they say, new levels, new devils, okay? If you think being poor is hard, getting a little bit of money, and it feels like as soon as you get some money, it all goes away again because something happens, right? Look, money doesn't fix everything, okay? And I'm not the richest person in the world, but stuff gets expensive, bro. It does. And you would think you get some nice stuff, whether it be a car or a house or clothes or what, you know, whatever it is, you know, nice stuff that people notice. And the jealousy is going to be there because they think that they should have it and you shouldn't. Right? So it's all a mixture of people that are stuck in the matrix and in their ways and in their mindset, and they see people like me as an easy mark. Oh, Corvette, custom license plate, easy mark. There's a ticket, done. You know? So I get it. I'm not mad at him. That's his job. That's his career path. That's, again, out of the matrix, he's just a very, very small cog in the giant machine, as a lot of people are, and probably don't even know it. So it happens. It is what it is. But just know, whenever you want nice shit, the price is higher than you think. There's fucking tax, there's this, there's that, and the third, all type of, you know, apparently citations too. So things are more expensive than you think they are. But anyway, let's get into what I actually wanted to talk about today, because I could rant all day. In the Discord this morning, I talked about ES as well as NQ. So the thing about ES that I had mentioned, okay, what's very important today about Tuesday the 23rd, I guess the settlement date was on. What's very important here is Friday's close to Monday's open. Okay. So when you mark that on ES, right? Friday's close, Monday's open. Okay. And I usually do like a box or something like this, right? So Monday closed higher, right? Closed with an up candle. Today opens, it trades lower to expand higher. Not a surprise. Okay. So our current candle for Tuesday today did not trade into that Sunday / weekend gap. You guys with me so far? Drop a 1 in the chat. You see that? With NQ, right? Here's where things get different. There's Monday's candle. Still an up close. Really a rather weak close because technically it is higher, but it really closed in like the bottom half of that range. It's just weak. It was just weakness. Okay. Thank you, Eberneth. I'm glad there's one person here. I'm glad there's one of you here. So again, same idea of, it's clearly I had the settlement on earlier when that I didn't realize that was checked. But that same phenomenon, right? Friday's closed to Monday's open, which again, Monday it's open and lower close together. Tuesday, so today we trade lower, we trade below Monday's low and into Sunday's gap, and we leave part of that open. See? Right? 7:30, 7:35, we do trade lower, and it's like in the discount if we cut this in half. But you see how it left from that low? That's the lowest one down here. Okay, that segment of delivery, right, doesn't go there, which is relatively bullish, right? That's usually what you want to see if you're bullish on a higher time frame perspective. Does that make sense now? So remember the mental model, the map is not the territory. I brought that up multiple times this year. What the interpretation that I got out of that, I told you. What do you remember about that? The map is not the territory. Who remembers? The map is not the territory. What does that mean? And while you do that, I'm drinking a new brand of coffee. It's called Equator. I found it at Sprouts yesterday. So what do you remember about the map is not the territory? This is a cold brew coffee with a hint of vanilla. It's pretty good. Doesn't have a lot of sugar either. And 5 grams of protein. Not to stick in a lower time frame. Why? Why? Explain it to me. Why would we not want to just be on lower time frame? Fernando says lower time frame has less of an impact as higher time frame. I'm not sure about that. Higher time frame is the territory, lower time frame is the map. Interesting. Higher time frame rules. Okay, Ethernet. So one of the most important things, okay, when it comes to bias, when it comes to like actually placing a trade, right? Time frame alignment. Time frame alignment. We want on our car, we want all four wheels to be in alignment, right? If the back two are, you know, I don't know, like angled differently, it's gonna mess everything up, right? Or when you turn and you want your front wheels to turn, right? You want that alignment. You don't want it screwed up, because then you're cooked. When you see like, oh, we traded lower and we left, let's say, a consolidation and even some low resistant lows. We traded higher, back down again at 9 o'clock, but look where we stop and we turn, right? It's not a random fucking place, okay? It's not random. Right here. We trade right back down and stop right at Sunday's gap. Okay, so we leave the lows open. We come back into the original consolidation to trade higher, so we know, okay, that's probably going to be left open at a minimum until this high is taken. Minimum. So we could be bullish in here if you'd like. Now, once we get there, because I know what a lot of people are trying to do, especially for people who look at like equal lows or low resistant lows, they're trying to short this market. Okay. And right now, they're not having a good time. And this is where people get frustrated. Oh, smart money concepts is bullshit. The markets aren't rigged. Let me go back and tweak my indicator settings. I need to ask ChatGPT what the best settings are and whatever. It's like, no. You have to understand lows and highs can be left open. We talk about this all the time. Monday's low, okay? We can zoom out here a little bit, right? We were on the 5 minute. Now we can zoom out a little bit. Tuesday trading lower, right? Pre-market. There's Monday's low right here. You see that? So what is going on here? Taking out Monday's low, it's absorbing that liquidity, you know, from that level and below it, or even let's say whatever these lows are, right? That low is being taken, moving beyond it, that low is being taken. Okay. So what that bias would be is you're essentially saying, okay, we're going to take out like these lows, in which it could have, right? But think about it. Monday's low was taken. But when we go to ES, I want to say it's that like 9:30, that Monday 9:30 time. I think that's this one. Right? Monday 9:30. Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure it's right. Accuracy matters, dog. Right? That 9:30 low and Sunday's gap was not taken for ES. So ES is what? Under accumulation. NQ is under manipulation. If This is manipulation. Price will not trade down there again. Manipulation always sets the low. It's never not that way, right? I don't know. Maybe you've heard it before. So those are going to be left open at a minimum until that high is taken. So what you'll notice here, right? What was I tweeting? We had a high right there, a little bit of retracement, and then we had a higher high. So in a normal sense, when it comes to turtle soup, right, that would be a higher high above a previous high, right? Oh, well, we have a higher high above a previous high, and then we have lows to attack down here. Well, sure, that can be the case, but yet that's not. I wrote differently. I said not quite the ideal the ideal soup for NQ, which means it's probably not the ideal short. We just had a higher high here too. I would trust this to go short more than something like this. Okay, just prior to lunch as well. But even then, I probably wouldn't short this either. Why? Well, for the number one, the reasons I already gave you, but number two, if we zoom out again, even more so, right? We were on the 5, we went to the 15, now we're on a 1 hour. So when you look at this, what is that starting to look like? What is that starting to look like? Some very, very clean highs. I want to say this is the highest one right here. We have a high on the right that is slightly lower. General consolidation as well. Lower, retracement, lower, retracement, lower. This is our current low down here. We've rallied, retracement, and as of right now, in the last couple hours, relatively rallying. So long term, and this is what makes stock trading really easy and what allows someone who trusts stuff like this to hold stock, either individual stocks or let's say the triple Qs as an example, because of stuff like this, right? The market, we all know this, but let's review it again. The markets build liquidity to take it later. We all know the four ways the price moves, right? Liquidity to liquidity, liquidity to imbalance, imbalance to liquidity, imbalance to imbalance, right? Or you could say inefficiency is what it's. An imbalance is under the inefficiency category, but you get what I'm saying, right? So we know that there's liquidity up here. Now, me personally, where I fall short is I don't always know what the low is going to be. I don't always know when that low is going to form. And I don't always know what day or what time that those highs are going to be met. I don't always know that, right? But it's an understanding that, hey, once those highs form and we start trading lower, yeah, we might be bearish for a while. How long? I don't always know. Okay. However, once we start trading in that direction, you have to be careful with shorts. Can you still short? Of course you can. I'm not going to deny that. There's still movement lower, right? There's still going to be, high of the day or high of the week or whatever. There's still going to be session lows that are going to get taken and stuff like that. So I'm not going to deny that you just shouldn't short altogether. But just understand that when you have this in the back of your mind, 26K, 1, 2, 3, if that is something that it's going to reach for, probably not today, obviously, but at a certain point, even though it's like a Christmas week anyway, whatever, it's still in the back of your mind like, hey, we may be in a buy model. We can still see retracements, yes. We can still trade lower, yes. But it's like the higher time frame, we may be bullish on a higher time frame perspective. You get me? So drop some twos in the chat if you've understood what we talked about. If we start on a daily, right? If we start on a daily, you remember Sunday's gap we traded into for NQ and took out Monday's low. ES did not do that. ES spoos, okay? The pink line is still there. We are higher. It did not trade lower. So this potentially is bullish, right? So NQ has those highs on the hourly. ES not so much, but there's a gap right there, and all-time highs is over here. At least for ESH, right? The March contract. So as of right now, we're probably bullish on the higher time frame perspective. So when you go down to the smaller time frames and you start to see, oh, well, we had London's high and Asia's high, like, oh, that got taken and we had a higher high here. That might be a suit to go lower. Now, if you trade that initially, yeah, I guess that'd have been okay into Sunday's gap, but it doesn't take out the lows. So I'm not going to tell you that, hey, your market maker model failed. I'm not going to say that. It's not a market maker model, at least as of right now. You see what I'm saying? So the lower time frames can be, you could get tricked into believing that the smaller time frames are bearish if you do not understand that the higher time frame might be bullish, because now you are not in time frame alignment. You are going against the higher time frame. That is a recipe for easy losses. Oh, that's a turtle soup. No, it's not. I'm going to short that because, that's a stop run. No, it's not. Or a sweep, rather. That's not a sweep. It goes higher, and then you take a loss, and then you get mad. Oh, this is bullshit. It's not bullshit. You just got it wrong. But this is why we study. We have to understand what we get wrong and why we get it wrong. So the next time you see it, it doesn't happen. You go, oh, wait. I've seen this shit before. I've seen this before where I targeted lows and that didn't get met. Right. You've seen this scenario before. And if the mistake you made last time was shorting to try to reach the lows, don't do that. Don't do that. You are going to realize that you're making the same mistake. Well, maybe it'll work this time. I'm thinking in probabilities, right? That's what Mark Douglas said. Yeah, but you don't put the outcome of a trade, you know what I'm saying, like with that sort of justification. That's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, probabilistic thinking works well when you actually have a high probability setup. Well, the probabilities are we are more likely to be right than wrong, so we'll take that trade. We're still going to manage our risk, though, because we could still get it wrong. Okay? But in this case, it's not one of those, well, if I lose, I lose. What? No. No. Simply just don't short that. It's a little, I would say, late. I wouldn't long above an old high, right? I probably wouldn't do that. Well, then what's the secret, John? What's the magic thing that we do? I want to make some money. If it's too late to long and it's not a short, then there's no trade, bro. And that's it. Then there's just simply no trade. No trade is better than taking a low probability trade. Period. And taking no trade is definitely better than trying to trade a reversal. right? Oh, I want to take a lower time frame short in a bullish higher time frame. You're asking to get wrecked. So it's not just, let's say, the models, right? It's not just, well, the sell model and the buy model, and I want to align with that. I mean, if you did that, I believe you would do really well. But every time you see that framework, it's not guaranteed. And this is exactly why. Hopefully I explained it well, but this is why. There is not a higher time frame alignment. And if you're not with that, then it will fail. You get me? Still no indicators. Still no nothing. It's context. It's top-down analysis. It's the map is not the territory. Okay? And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for today. Okay, so what do you do in scenarios like that? Again, either don't trade it or you need to trade like the retracements. Okay, short-term manipulation, higher time frame accumulation, right? That big rally. So retracements after that, like 9 o'clock here, right? And then like 9:05 or like this imbalance right here at 9:25, you know, something like that. You could do. Actually, there's an inversion model here too for your studies, right? The law of the return. That imbalance here created at 740, 745 taps into it to go lower. What was once bearish becomes bullish. Look at that. Again, no fucking volume, no indicators, no nothing. It's the context. It's price delivery. It's the laws of price, the laws of trading. You don't need a MACD to see that. You don't need anything to see that. Look at what price has done. Price was bearish, now it's bullish. That's real support and resistance, right? So I know, because a lot of people, what they would do is try to match it, like, oh, well, why didn't it come down here? It's not going to go down there. That's a breakaway imbalance. That's the, well, technically the first one would be like down here, but that large imbalance, when we have large concepts, we can cut those in half, right? Like a pizza, we can cut it in half. Shit, I had a couple pizzas last week. But anyway, right? We can cut it in half. We never want to see the lower half met, or at least the majority of the lower half stay open if we're bullish, right? 50% and lower, does that get taken? No. Where does it stop and turn? It didn't get to 50%, man. This is bullshit. Right. It stopped and turned at the overlap of the inversion. Right there. It's overlapping concepts. I wonder if that's a law in the 48 laws. Overlapping concepts. Right? Come on, man. This is the same shit we talk about all the time. All the time. So yeah, if you're not in on something like that or right after, trading like right up here. If you long, oh shit, where's your stop gonna go? Longing at high of day, I don't know about that. Do you have a checklist on hand of the market maker models? No. No. I'll give you I'll give you some juice here again, and then we'll probably shut it down. A long time ago, what I noticed about myself, and maybe this is you, especially in the beginning, but what you'll notice is looking at price in hindsight. Like if we just go back in here and we look at it, and there's no rush or anything, so we can say, oh well, there's an inversion here, and there's, you know, Sunday's gap and all this other shit. But you might think, well, why didn't I see it at the time? I can see it now, but why didn't I see it then? Like, was I not looking for it? Did I just not recognize it? Like, what's the case? And that's just an experience thing. So it's like, oh, well, that's an inversion, that's an imbalance, that's this, that, and the third. Your notebook probably is filled with pages and pages and pages of notes if you take them. Okay, I've seen people send me their notes. I've seen 1,000-page PDFs, 980 something page PDF. I had somebody send me one time. Ridiculous, right? There's a lot of notes. What I did is this was like, again, many years ago, but what I did is I printed off individual concepts and then I put them on the wall. Mitigation model on the wall. Market maker models on the wall. Just like other stuff, like fractal on the wall. We used to do like institutional candles on the wall. Equal highs, equal lows on the wall. High resistant lows, high resistant highs, like stop run on the wall. So, and you don't have to do this, it's just an idea, but what you could do is you could have your wall, you could take market maker models, put them on the wall, and then around the models you could have your concepts. You could have your upside targets on the top, your stop losses at the bottom, or your target for shorts on the bottom and your stop loss for shorts on the top and stuff. So you can kind of see like, okay, well, this is the model or the market maker model, this is the entry model, this is the stop loss, this is the target. And when you see it all day, every day, or like every time you come home, you walk in, you see it, you'll start to see it more and more into the charts. And that's why I ask you guys sometimes, like when you get to the charts, what's the first thing your mind starts going to? And for a lot of people, it's the same as me. We're looking for equal lows or distinctive highs, you know, or something like that. Not that I'm a scientist or no shit, but we create neural pathways in our brain, so it becomes easier and easier, becomes second nature, right? Unconscious competence or whatever that fourth stage is. You don't even have to think about it, you just do it. But you know, that's from seeing it every day. And you might think it's stupid, like, oh well, I don't need to see it every day. Again, you don't have to do it. I'm not putting a gun to your head and saying print off everything and put it on the wall. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Okay? But what I can tell you is that out of all the students I've ever had, and I would say 9 out of 10 also have multiple mentors too. I'm just throwing that out there. But out of all the good traders that I know, I'm pretty sure like 75-80% or more have done that. Have printed off, whether it be Wyckoff schematics, all the shit that I've given you, the market maker models or the mitigation models and like the other entry type models. Remember the Judas model, right? That actually was presented yesterday on NQ. Down here. Monday's low, actually. I know we haven't done that in a while. But there it is. That low at 936 into Sunday's gap. We left behind an imbalance on the way lower. That was the last one. That's your Judas right there. Okay. Price trades outside of it, back into it. What's the furthest extent it went to? The imbalance on the upside, right? Again, no indicators here. Right there. Boom. See that? So 1 to 2, it's good for me, it's good for you. And that eventually went lower, but I'm just saying there's a trade right there. See what I'm saying? But yeah, my main point is, out of all the people that I know that are really, really good traders, that's what they've done. They've printed stuff off. They put it on the wall. They look at it. It could even be. It doesn't have to be images. It could even be rules or quotes or whatever. You know, which I've given you all that too. Top 10 smart money trading rules. I'm giving you that. Time price context. I mean that's on my chart 24/7. But you get the point. Right, Julius. Of course. No matter how many videos or study sessions you do, need to get the reps in. Exactly. Exactly. So with that being said, we'll close it here. I don't have anything else for you. Okay. Today was really about discernment, right? Discernment. How do you know when to trust equal highs or equal lows? There's also, I'll end it with this. There's also another reason why that 50% crossing is such a big deal. I know some people don't think so, right? But look, we made that high. Well, actually, let's do that. That high here, we never even crossed 25, much less 50. Right? That high here, we did retrace, but we didn't cross 25 or 50. It never gave that indication that it was going to run these lows. It never did that. You see what I'm saying? So these are all just pieces. Everything I give you is pieces, pieces, pieces. And you have to put that stuff together. I can't always do it for you. I'm a guy that's on your screen. Okay? I can give you information, I can tell you what books to read, I can tell you what you know, practices that you need to do, habit formation, goal setting, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be information for you. It's what you do with that. The end goal of knowledge is action. I forgot who said that. I don't know if it was Aristotle or Nietzsche or I don't know, somebody. But that's the goal. It's not just knowing stuff, it's applying stuff too. Some of the books I read are for leisure. You know, like not like certain novels are just, you know, they're for leisure. Who cares? Other stuff, there's a reason. Right? Like what am I reading right now? None of you asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Right? What I'm reading right now, I posted a couple days ago. It's called Measure What Matters by John Doerr or Doer. I don't know. Maybe it's Doer because I'm immature. Measure What Matters. How Google, Bono, and the Gates Foundation rocked the world with OKRs. I had never heard of OKRs before. And OKRs are very similar to like goal setting, right? OKRs is objectives and key results. Objectives, that's what you want to do. And the key results are how you're going to do them. So an objective would be like, I want to pass a Top Step combine. Okay, well, what are the key results? Well, they can't have fucking platform issues. That's number one. Number two, right? I'm going to take, you know, high probability trades, right? At least once or twice a week. I'm going to always respect the risk because if I don't, I'm getting clapped. You see what I'm saying? So it's like what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So for me, I mean, I told you guys this already, but I did launch a new business recently. So I'm reading books on technology. I'm reading books on AI. I'm reading books on startups, right? Business management, shit like that, which is boring to most people. But, you know, I'm learning stuff and implementing it and will implement the information soon. You get me? So it's no different here. Learn some information. Apply that information. All right? So with that, I said it's going to be a short stream. Yeah, we ended up going decently. So be good, be blessed. I'll do a stream tomorrow, which is probably going to be a short one because it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. Thursday, I'll still do a market review. I'll do a market review today as well. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, no matter what holiday or whatever. Unless I'm dead, it's really the only way I won't do it. Friday the 26th, we'll have a stream there too. All right, so y'all be good, be blessed, man, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Around my head like a Machiavelli. Yeah, I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. We'll be rich forever. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. I told you that we could get rich together. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. Niggas left me up for dead, now I'm Machiavelli. Reincarnated Machiavelli. All in nigga. Real money, call the lawyer for the deal money. Where a nigga laughing to the bank, you would think the checks are looking real funny. Know a couple niggas that'll kill for me, couple bitches that'll steal from me. Niggas still love me, women still love me, cause they only get it true and real from me. I'm a full-time job driver, poor nigga, but I give it to him. All this activists up in the Sprite, this shit was getting to it. I was sipping through it, I was with the Ruger, nigga really shooting, putting bitches all up in the Billy Cool. Was working to the two. I rode a Venador like it's a rental cool, boy. We the homicide when the mother guys talking down, talking about how we run shit. Talking about how we shut it down. Came in with the whole thing, or the old thing. Road chain with the soul train. With the white girl, baby, cocaine. And you know the name, Lord. Oh, God, boy, right now. Parked outside, straight black mice. Oh, God, boy, right now. I own heat, no parallel. Made $1 million rap touring. I ain't talking no Kyle Lowry. Yo, a nigga like the 10 Commandments. Always got 10,000. Yeah, I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. I told you that we could get rich together. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. Niggas left me up for dead, now I'm Machiavelli. Reincarnated Machiavelli. Yeah, okay, all I want that big shit. Hopping in it like the governor. Hopping in it with a cover. Jump in the whip in the truck and go down to the da-da-da. When I step in the fresh and updated. And my women get fresh in the fragrance. Niggas definitely is the greatest belly when I'm faded pettis in the making. Had to talk with the team, ain't it? You been selling the dream, ain't it? When my nigga was thumping, you nigga was out behind bitches and lean, ain't it? We can make it a thing, ain't it? We should make it a thing, ain't it? Yeah, we know you the star player. Only one on your team with a ring, ain't it? Hot fuck, nigga. Level the J. Tell a sucker, nigga, settle the bet. You ain't got it, niggas double the debt. Used to have to work a double a day. Now I get up and go up in the way. I go up on the plane and go forward and late. But what you say, I go know what the clap that nigga got something to say. I started day to day. They fuck with the haters say. I know it hurt them to see my commercial all over the AMAs. Or maybe it kills them to know that we #1 up on the airways. I'm careless, nigga, I'm fearless. Mama, these niggas go hit me. Fuck them. Around my head like a Machiavelli. Yeah, I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. We'll be rich forever. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. I told you that we could get rich together. I pull out the Porsche, I jump in the Mazda, then it's the race again. Niggas left me up for dead.